What's up, people? Niche Girl 30 here, and this is another mini Q&A. Guys, thank you so much for sending me your questions, and I actually do have Twitter questions as well as YouTube questions. So let's get started with my first set of Twitter questions coming from Largest85. His question for me is this: have you watched any gameplay footage of Mortal Kombat X? Yes, I have, and it looks sick. Not to mention the fatalities are just as sick as it was for Mortal Kombat 9. Everything looks so great. Gosh, even the organs on the inside during the x-rays look just flat out like something you would see in anatomy class. Like, honestly, it's that detail, and it's just amazing. I really think it's absolutely great. I've seen tons of footage, and I'm still wondering how these people are able to get the game this early. But I guess they got to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody to know Ed Boon to be able to get it early, I guess. But it looks absolutely sick. Excuse me. And have you heard that it's only coming to last gen towards the end of the year? Honestly, okay. What I have seen on GameStop is that they said that the 360 copy is coming out June 2nd of this year. Unless they change their mind. For what I know, they're actually coming out with it June 2nd, which sucks for those who still have 360s, and not everybody has Xbox Ones. I gotta wait another month. So that really does suck, but that's just how it is, I guess. You probably gotta take the time to actually make a copy of it and to kind of dumb it down for Xbox 360 console, because it is made for next gen. Is it time for you to get a next gen console? Yes, it kind of is. Don't get me wrong. Xbox 360 has a lot of games that still stand true today. Like Tomb Raider by far is one of my favorite games that was on the 360, and as well as DuckTales and Gears of War and 1, 2, and Judgment. Judgment's good no matter how many people crap on it. I haven't played 3 yet, but they have a lot of games that actually do stay true today. But you can kind of tell that they're trying to get people to wean off the 360s and buy more Xbox Ones. So, yeah, it's about high time for me to actually get a new system. But that's going to take time and a little bit more research on my part and a lot of saving on my part as well. But, yeah, pretty much. Why do you prefer Microsoft over Sony? Mostly because it integrates and organizes everything that I use in my life so well. I have an Xbox, not Xbox, but I do have a 360 for you guys that don't know, as well as with a Kinect. But I also have Microsoft. I have Windows 8.1 at the moment, and I also have a Windows Phone. That wasn't done on purpose, people. I actually got a Windows Phone because my phone was really messed up, and I needed a phone right away for work. For people to call me. This was actually on sale through AT&T, and it actually does work fairly well. The only jacked up part is it doesn't have a lot of apps that you like to have that everybody else does on Android or on iOS, but it still works well today. Not to mention that all my pictures go directly to the cloud. I don't have to save anything on my phone. It doesn't take up a lot of memory. I'm able to organize and put stuff on Facebook after going on my trips, which is great. Even when it comes to my Xbox Live, it keeps track with that. And now if I want to change my avatar, I can do it on my computer, on my phone. I can actually chat on Xbox Live via my phone instead of on the system all the time. So if I actually get messages, I can send that to people who are on, some of my friends who are online. So honestly, it's kind of cool for me because it kind of organizes everything so well. So that's why I am a fan of Microsoft, as well as being a fan of the 360 or anything game related that Microsoft has done. Not to mention that I have giant man hands, and unfortunately, my hands are too big for a PS controller. It is. I'm sorry. It's too big for a PlayStation 2 controller. It's too big for a PlayStation 3 controller, and it's way too big for a PlayStation 1 controller. So yeah, my hands actually fit a lot easier with an Xbox One controller. That's just how it is with me. I'm just weird. Not knocking the whole PS4, but it's these pretty much. But your next question for me is, what did you think of at 99 match with The Rock and Mankind's I Quit match where Dwayne hit him over the head with some chair shots. It's a Mick Foley match with The Rock. I mean, it's brutal. Anything with Mick Foley in it is going to be brutal. That's just a given, you know. And with the chair shots hitting him square in the head, by far, that was hard to watch. It was hard to watch because of the sound of the chair hitting him, and I was like, ugh. But it wasn't as brutal by far. It wasn't as brutal as the Hell in a Cell match with Taker versus Mankind. That was still by far the most brutal. But that was just the sound of the sound of it just didn't really sit well with me. I was just like, oh, but you get the idea. That's a brutal Mick Foley match, in my opinion. And did you watch the MTV Movie Awards this past Sunday? Not really. I've kind of stopped watching anything MTV ever since they got rid of music and start doing reality shows. So I kind of cut myself out of that channel. Except occasionally I do watch Guy Code as well as Girl Code because it's a really funny show. But that's on MTV too. But either or, I don't really watch the awards anymore. I don't watch any awards anymore because they just kiss the butts of all the actors in movies that really shouldn't be best movie, or they make up really dumb titles and stuff like dumb setups for other awards. It's just weird. So honestly, yeah, by far, no, I don't really watch it. I was done. I was done since 99. Seriously. No, I was done after '01. Yeah, seriously, after '01 I was done. And yeah, I was just from that point. But great set of questions, man. And let's go on to the questions that I have via YouTube. And I actually have two individuals that have sent me questions via YouTube. So let's get started on those. My first set of questions actually comes from Final Limits. Are you getting Mortal Kombat X next week? No, like I answered for Largest 85's question. I have a 360, so I have to wait another month before the actual game for that console comes out. I was actually going to get it on Xbox Live, but they don't really have that version out yet, so I still have to wait another month. That's how it is. So no, I won't be able to get it. And this was actually probably sent to me 6 days before it actually came out. It's currently out right now for the Xbox One and PS4, but my version has to wait. 360 and PS3's got to wait. It sucks. Who will be the first character that you will select when playing the game for the first time? One character that I'm really interested in is Devora. Devora looks like she's a real cool character. She's kind of a mix between a Hornet and a Yellow Jacket, but I would love to know her whole background story. They have a lot of classic people that came back, as well as the expected villain from Mortal Kombat 9, so you can kind of expect that as well. I love Melina, but I don't like her new look. But either or, I really would pick Devora. She would probably be the first person that I pick. And after I pick her, I might pick Cassie Cage. But Devora definitely will be the first person I pick because she looks the most interesting. And my last set of questions actually comes from Pato Nilton. Why do you deprive yourself of playing a great video game series like Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 1? Honestly, I'm just not that patient about RPGs. I wish I would be, but I'm not. I really wish I would be a lot more patient about RPGs. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm just not that patient and it sucks. But there could be a chance that I might try it. But I will say this. I'm thinking about when I finally get an Xbox One, I'm thinking about getting the latest Final Fantasy game that comes out for Xbox One. Because I haven't really played it in a while. And it's just for nostalgia's sake. Something new. I might try Kingdom Hearts, but I don't have a handheld system. So if they actually do come out with something on a console, and it will probably be the last one. I think when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, it'll be the last one of the series. So I might play Kingdom Hearts 3 just to try it out. I might, if it's not a PS4 exclusive. But we'll see. I don't know. Why do people dress up like a bunch of 70s hippies at Coachella? I don't know. That's the biggest question. Maybe it's a hippie trend. I have no idea. There was a moment in the 90s where baby doll dresses, and baby doll dresses and what is it, flare pants? I can't, bell bottoms actually came back. It's like for some reason every single decade or every 5 years or every few years you go back in time when it comes to trends and when it comes to like clothing trends. I don't understand. Coachella came out in 99. So what's with the whole 70s vibe? Or I don't know, maybe it's in California where weed is legal. I have no idea. But yeah, it is kind of weird. Maybe it's some kind of a hippie trend. I don't know. But yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me. What does hipster mean? And what are hipsters? Okay, I actually did get the textbook Urban Dictionary definition for you. So I'm going to go ahead and read that first. Hipsters are a subculture of men and women, typically in their 20s and 30s, that value independent thinking, counterculture, progressive politics, and appreciation of art and indie rock, creativity, intelligence, and witty banter. Honestly, it sounds like a very pretentious individual. I'm sorry. It just sounds like a very self-righteous and pretentious individual. Just the whole definition of what a hipster is, in my opinion, just sounds that way. And I have met a few that are a bit self-righteous. Pretty much just random meetings. And unfortunately, my city of Atlanta is starting to become somewhat of a hipster culture. And that's fine. They want that, great. But yeah, the whole textbook definition, in my opinion, just sounds like a very self-righteous, very pretentious individual. But that's just my personal definition of it. If you know someone who is a hipster and you're friends with them, then fine, no problem with that. But I'm just going by what the definition says. It doesn't really sound like a hipster is a great thing or great. It doesn't sound great. That's just me. But that is the textbook definition of what a hipster is, and I hope that answered your question. But yeah, I have seen a few, and the ones that I have met, well, the ones that I have actually ran into, I don't really know them, but yeah, it's just the ones I've actually have heard are the ones that you probably, oh, what's the best way of describing it? If you've ever been in a line at Starbucks and it takes too long, you'll probably hear a few. I'll just say that. But on my way to San Francisco, I have heard a few, and it was ridiculous. But they weren't in their 20s and 30s. They were probably in their early 40s. Their early 40s on up to maybe their early 50s. I've actually seen a few in their 30s, but they were docile compared to those, compared to people who were in their 40s and 50s. So, yeah. It just don't really sound like a great thing. But that's just me. What would AJ Lee look like as a gothic chick? I don't know. I'm picturing her with black lipstick and black everything. And I don't know. I just don't see it. It really wouldn't look right for me. For her. And for your question for me is, what would I look like as a goth? I would look ridiculous. Seriously, I really would. Me in black lipstick? No, thank you. No. I look like I would. Let me see. I would look like I sucked on at least 1,000 blackberries, especially after wiping it off. My lips would be stained. It would literally be stained all around there. So no, thank you. But as for me wearing black all the time, that's too freaking hot. But as AJ Lee as a goth, no. Don't see it. Me as a goth, no. Definitely not see it. And I would look like a clown. And she would just look weird. But either or, thank you for sending me questions. And this is my Q&A. If you guys have any more questions to send me, by all means, send them to me via YouTube or on Twitter at RKH30, #NatureGirlQ&A. It's NatureGirl30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. Later.